Hey, shalom, shalom, Akim. First and foremost, call hello to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shah, Shem Kakwadash, and of course, double honors. Go out to the apostles of Great Millstone, alright, who through the Spirit have told us his truth, alright, and who rule well, alright, and deserve double honors. This is Naaman with the DC camp. And, well, once again, should be no surprise. Talking about this coronavirus BS, and we all know by now that, you know, hey, the whole population of the earth has kept catching on. All right, took them a little while, but hey, uh, this is the president of Brazil, and this is from RT News, and he goes on to say, quote, everything is now a pandemic. All right, Bolsonaro tells Brazilians to stop being sissies about COVID. And indeed, that's the way the people have been acting ever since March. All right, scared of their own shadow over something that's no more potent than your yearly flu. All right. He goes on to say, he said the severity of the coronavirus pandemic is exaggerated. We've been trying to tell you that here at Great Millstone. Urging his compatriots to stop being sissies in the face of COVID 19 and pointing out that all of us are going to die one day. Simple logic. All right? And that's the absolute truth. All right? Because at the end of the day, it comes down to, as we all know, where is your faith? And this is proving that people are about a lot of lip service. All right? First of all, we know that the God of the Bible is the God of the Hebrews and the Hebrews only, the Hebrew Israelites. All right? Because there's around 8 families of Hebrews. He goes on to say, speaking on Tuesday at a ceremony to mark the resumption of tourism, Bolsonaro described the COVID-19 pandemic as having been blown out of proportion. The nation's death toll from the virus has hit 162,000. All right, and again, they meaning the establishment, play fast and loose with these numbers. All right. Uh, One of the things that you can do is just type in a three-digit number into a web search as far as coronavirus deaths. All right, and what shouldn't be possible happens. I'll let you know it's being manipulated. All right. So whatever number you type in, it's going to be some township or area in the world, and that's nah. Goes on to say, he continued by saying that everything is now pandemic and that Brazil was part of a worldwide wave of closing things down because people, there's another agenda here. All right, they've got all this vaccine stored at around 100 degrees below zero. All right, which is going to present another problem is getting it distributed. How are you going to keep it at that temperature? There's something else going on here. This is the first, I believe, that I read, uh, which should make you rethink taking this thing in the first place. This vaccine rather, is getting into RNA. I believe it's the first time that something has been addressed using, and this is going into genetic codes and all that. Nah, that's a nah. And they are like in desperation mode trying to get this out. So there's something going on here. And we've been telling you this all goes together with this 5G and ultimately this chip that they want to put in people. All right. You notice in the last, let's say, couple of decades, 20 years, you've gone from where you could find a payphone on just about every corner. Now it's rare, very rare to find a payphone. Why? Because your phone here, and this is how this devil deals, it's called gradualism. This is nothing more than a tracking device. All right. Who knows what's in that vaccine? That's ultimately they want to get all this in you. They can make the case, oh, well, you can lose your phone, you can lose your credit or debit card, but if it's in this, they're going to hit a lot of people with security and convenience. That's the way they're going to do it. And a lot of people are going to buck. They're going to take it. All right. And then on the flip side of that, you're going to have a lot of people, depending on how they come at them, they're going to buck up against it and say, hell no. And I pray to the Most High I'm in that lot. No, I don't care. You know what? Because something else just came down the pipe within the last week about a possible way they're going to do this. They're going to come at you with debt forgiveness. And a hell of a lot of people are going to jump on that, whether they got college debt, whether they got mortgages, or any other thing. But along with that comes, you have to agree you have to agree to not ever owning property again. This is coming down to this communal type society where they give you a stipend, however much that is, for you to live on. But these people, that's why I say this is coming to a point where you're going to have all out just craziness. Because people for generation after generation after generation have been conditioned to what? You work hard, and you want to own your own things, property. So what do you think is going to happen when that's no longer a goal? See, these elites want a world where everybody is their slave. They don't give a damn about what you want. And I hope everybody by now sees that. All right, continuing on with this. And let me get some scriptures because I didn't want to. He said he tempered his Bolsonaro, the president of Brazil, says he tempered his remarks by saying he felt for those who had died before claiming that he did not know why he was in charge because he hadn't been allowed to make any decisions regarding the handling of the pandemic. See, this goes to show you this isn't. What we lacked was not a leader, it was letting the leader work. Same thing here in the USA. I hope people realize by now, and if you hadn't before then, you will in the next coming few weeks. Trump was, if you couldn't see the tension between Trump and that demon, Fauci, the head of the NIH, I don't know what you were looking at. Clearly, the president wasn't going along with what, how am I going to phrase this? Let's first say this. Donald Trump, we all know, is a businessman, however you think of him, despite his morals or lack thereof. All right, he wanted to keep things open. He wanted business to thrive and continue. Where you have this other faction, which Fauci was a part of, they want to shut everything down. All right, because they want to get this vaccine to the people. They want, because what I just told you, there's no need for you to go back to work because, like I said, this is a global reset. So Trump wasn't with what they wanted. So it was either get him out through the election or do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so now that Biden is in, that's their man. All right, and that demon along with him, Kamala Harris. So now they can get things up and running again. You can see the difference in how Fauci is like, the stress is off of him. All right. So this is the thing I was getting into with these people. All right, you have no faith, and at the end of the day, this is about faith. Of course, this is only faith that's given as what? Let's go to the scriptures. Okay, that's only for Israel. You can go to, well, let's go here. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 12th chapter. That's one of those gifts, all right, and that's only given out to who? This is 1 Corinthians 12. Let's see. Here it is. This is 1 Corinthians 12 and 4. It says, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. He's talking about the Israelite man. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit. Verse 9, and here's the point, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of gifts, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. All right? But all these worketh that one and the self same Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. Now, let's go to Ephesians, 2nd chapter. I'm going to have to wrap this up. This is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right? So that's only given the Israelites. This is exposing a lot. Because you can just look and see the people that they even in their own cars, you know, in their own little private atmosphere, more or less, and they so scared they wearing a mask all by them. They're lonesome in the car. All right. So let's get some more scriptures. This is Psalms 68. And let's scroll on down here to 20. It says, he that is our power is the God of salvation, and to the Most High Yahweh the Lord belong the issues from death. Let's look at that, issues. All right. And to belong the issues, that's Strong's H8444. All right. And it's the last one. And it says escape from death. How many times, if you could count that high, do you think the Most High has saved us just in your average day? This is a poem I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. It's called Footprints. All right. Just as an example. Let's see. And it goes on to tell you about, I was looking for the actual poem, I can't find it, if I can find it, so I can. But let me see here. About an individual is walking on the beach, and he's got, hold on, let's see. Oh boy. Here it is. So I can. And it says, one night I had a dream. I dreamed I was walking along the beach with the Lord, and across the sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand. One belonged to me and the other to the Lord. When the last scene of my life flashed before us, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. I noticed that many times along the path of my life there was only one set of footprints. All right. And you can read, you know, I'll post a link. You can read it to yourself. That's something these, you know, Christians, but just the concept in and of itself proves that you're not doing this on your own. All right. To every Hebrew Israelite out there. All right. This is Deuteronomy 1. All right. Now let's scroll all the way down. This is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 31. It says, and in the wilderness, remember, the Israelites were in the wilderness for what? 40 years. Basically going in a big circle. Alright? Because what? They all wanted, even though the Most High brought them out of Egypt, you had a lot of them that, like today, you got a lot of Jakes in that, still got that American mindset, So they had in the wilderness, coming out of Egypt, old Egypt, they had Most High let all of them die out. And it says, and in the wilderness where thou hast seen how that the Most High Yahweh thy power bear thee, bear, there goes that word, as a man doth bear his son, and all the way that ye went until ye came unto this place. Alright? It says, yet in this thing ye did not believe the Most High Yahweh your power, who went in the way before you to search you out a place to pitch your tents in fire by night, to shew you by that way ye should go, and in a cloud by day. Alright? And that's the thing. Alright? Like it says in Psalm 16:20, the issues. Alright? How many times have you escaped death? And immediately the movie that should pop into your mind is what? Final Destination. Alright, let's go to Isaiah 46, and I'm going to wrap it up here. This is Isaiah 46 and 3. It says, hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born, again, carried, B-O-R-N-E, by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. Alright, and even to your old age I am he, and even to hoar hairs will I carry you. I have made and I will bear, even I will carry and will deliver you. Alright, and finally, this is Acts 13, because you got to go to this, because you have some, well, you're in the Old Testament. Nah. This is Acts chapter 13, verse 18. And about the time of 40 years suffered he their manners in the wilderness. Well, they're going back to Deuteronomy and Exodus. Alright? Alright? And that's basically it. Our people suffer from a lack of faith. Alright? The heathen are even fed up with this. Letting you know there's more to this. Alright, so with that, Salakia went over again. But hey, call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Kakwadash, and of course, once again, double honors to the Apostles' Great Millstone. Shalom.